Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So we all thought that the last declutter would be probably last one for this year, but as it turns out, there's going to be one more. And this one is really cutthroat, ruthless type of declutter with, I think, a lot of shocking cuts. And it was actually a question during my Q&A that kind of prompted me to take another look at my collection. When somebody asked me how many bottles I had in my collection and if I had a cutoff number. And I think in my Q&A, I said that I have around 130. Well, I actually counted how many I had afterwards, and it is closer to 150. And so I decided to go through my collection one more time and really make some tough decisions. Because if I'm completely honest, the first two declutters, with the exception of a few fragrances, were relatively simple. I mostly cut out fragrances that I wasn't loving or I wasn't using for a long time. But in this declutter, many of the fragrances, in fact, I would say majority of the fragrances, are the ones that I love and that I have spoken highly about on multiple occasions. And I would still speak highly about them. It's just that my collection is getting too large, I think. And if there are scents that I'm just not using or not using often enough, then it's time for them to find a new home. Okay. Enough with the introduction. I believe I have, or I'm going to share with you 13 different fragrances that I decided to let go. And many of them I actually don't have anymore. They have gone to their new homes already, but I will still speak about them. And like I said, there will be a number of kind of shocking cuts. Okay, let's get started. The first one is not going to come as a surprise because I spoke about it in my last haul, or one of the last hauls, depending on how I post it. And that's the only one intense from Dolce & Gabbana. And I said in that video that that fragrance was kind of a disappointment for me. I did not like it. I did not understand all the hype about it. It just didn't work for me, and that I was not going to keep it in my collection. And so I didn't keep it. It is already gone. It found a better place. The only one intense is really kind of a floral fragrance with strong coconut note. For me, just smelled very strange and very unpleasant. Sort of a grapey medicinal vibe it had. I don't know why, but anyways, it found a better home. In that same haul, I also shared with you Cashmere from Chopard. And I said, although the fragrance I liked, but it wasn't anything extraordinary, anything that I absolutely loved. And I wasn't sure at that point if I was going to keep it or let it go. Well, decision has been made. I am letting it go. So here I still have it, although it has been spoken for, so it already found a better home, but I'm going to show it to you just for a second. I have a small 30 ml, and this is kind of your spicy vanilla with some apricots and peaches. It is lovely. It is a lovely scent, but it's just not special enough to keep. Just because I like it, I don't think it's a good enough reason to keep it. I need to absolutely love it considering the size of my collection, and so I'm letting this one go. Next one that I'm letting go is from Guerlain, from their Aqua Allegoria line. This is Flora Chiricia. Again, this is a beautiful scent. Most of the fragrances that I'm going to speak about in this video are beautiful fragrances that I love, but for whatever reason, I am not reaching for. And this is really about cherry blossom. It is light, it is kind of fizzy, it is beautiful, but lasting power is almost non-existent. And so for that reason, I don't tend to reach for it. I just want to wear a scent that lasts, that doesn't disappear in a matter of 1 or 2 hours maximum. And so as much as I love the scent, but because it has absolutely no lasting power, I'm going to declutter it from my collection. Next one I don't have already, it has already gone, and this is another one from Guerlain, and this is Shalimar Souffle. I know it's a fan favorite, so many people love Shalimar line, and I really enjoyed Shalimar Souffle, but I just wasn't reaching for it. This is of course your kind of lemon with vanilla, lemon pie sort of fragrance, but I just think I have better fragrances that smell similar to that, fragrances that I gravitate towards a lot more. And I didn't want to keep it just because I sort of felt like, well, every respectable collector should have Shalimar in their collection. And that's mostly why I was keeping it, not because I really was using it a lot, although I liked it. And so I decided that it wasn't a good enough reason to keep it. And like I said, it has left my collection already. One more fragrance that has left already is from Salvador Dali. This is Labelle Lancelot. Of course, as you can see, I'm inserting pictures for everything that I don't have already. And this is a fragrance that I hold this summer. Again, it's a very, very lovely scent. It's kind of your soapy, fruity floral. It is very inoffensive. It is very light. It is very, very pleasant. I enjoyed it very much. But I think my attraction to this fragrance was more towards a bottle rather than the scent itself. The scent, although it was lovely, just again wasn't anything extraordinary, anything that I really wanted to reach for all that often. And so that's why it left. Next two I'm going to show together, and I don't know if it will be surprised or not. In a way, I think it will be a surprise because I've spoken highly about both of these fragrances, and I completely stand by that still. These are beautiful, beautiful fragrances. But on another hand, I don't think it will surprise you because I've voiced my opinion about the bottles from this house that I really, really don't like them. Did you guess? Yes, of course, I'm talking about Montal. And so I have these two 20 ml bottles. I have Oud Amazing and Sweet Peony. So Sweet Peony is kind of your candied peony, just as the name would suggest. And Oud Amazing, yes, it has oud in it. It has some floral, some I think fruity notes as well. So it's kind of your really pleasant, sweet oud that's very inoffensive. And again, I love both of these scents. But what's stopping me from using these, and you might say it's a very superficial reason, and yet that's what it is. I just still really despise these bottles. And yes, the smaller ones look better than the bigger ones, but I still don't like them. This clickety thing just annoys me so much. I am not reaching for them because I really dislike the packaging so much. And maybe for some of you that's not good enough reason, but I think for me it is, because I'm not reaching for them. Despite loving both of these scents, I have to let them go and give them to someone who will actually be using them and enjoying them. Okay, next few scents, I don't have the bottles anymore. They've already gone to a new home. The two scents I'm talking about are, first of all, from Serge Lutens Santal Majuscule. Beautiful sandalwood with rose and cacao. Beautiful. I know it's a favorite of so many people, and I loved it as well. But for some reason, from all of my Serge Lutens scents that I have, I reached the least for this one. Since I got it, I maybe used it twice, and every time that I thought about using it, I just ended up using something else. And so I thought, again, it needs to find a better home. If I'm not reaching for it, there must be a reason why. And the second one I let go, again, for the same reason, is Van Cleef & Arpels from their Extraordinary line, Bois Doré. This fragrance I actually talked about in, I think, my challenging fragrances video, and I mentioned that I kind of struggled in deciding when to wear this fragrance because it kind of, for me, falls somewhere in the middle of many different categories. It is sort of sweet, but not too sweet. It is not gourmand. It is not floral. It is not woody. Like, it's somewhere in the middle. You know, it's a very interesting fragrance. It has vanilla, tonka, almond. It has a really interesting addition of mineral notes. And I think because I just couldn't decide when to wear this fragrance, again, I wasn't reaching for it. So that one left. And if you thought those cuts were surprising, then stay tuned, because I think I left the most shocking cuts to the end. The next one, I'm really, really sad that I had to let this one go, because I've spoken about it many times as one of my favorites, but I'll explain to you what happened. The fragrance I'm talking about is, again, I don't have it anymore. It has gone. It is from Zadigan Voltaire. This is her. I know, shocking. Here's what happened. One day I wore this fragrance and I think I oversprayed. This wasn't my first time wearing it. Of course, I've worn it quite a few times since I got it, but this time I must have oversprayed. And I think something happened when I oversprayed it. Something changed. It started making me sick. I couldn't understand what it was. I had to scrub it off on that day. And I've tried it several times since then, and every time I would spray it on me, it would make me sick. I think this happens sometimes. I've heard about it when you overspray something and you just can't wear that scent anymore. So this is unfortunately what happened to me. So I just had to let it go because I could not wear it anymore. And I didn't want it to stand there and wait. Maybe one day I will be able to wear it again. It's just not a good reason. It just needed to go. So very sad that it happened, but it just chemically something happened that I just could not wear it anymore. Okay, we're down to 3 more and I still have these bottles, so I'm going to show them to you, and again, the shocks will keep coming. Next, I have one more from Serge Lutens. I can't believe I'm saying it because I love this house, but this is 5 o'clock au gingembre. So this is your kind of spicy ginger tea, basically. And again, this is a fragrance that I spoke about in my complicated or complex scents video. And I mentioned then that this is a fragrance that kind of behaves differently on me every time that I wear it. Sometimes it is very spicy, sometimes it is very woody, sometimes the tea is very, very prominent. It just really depends, and I haven't been able to figure out what it depends on, but it's kind of, I never know how it's going to behave when I spray it on. And so for that reason, I'm very hesitant to use it because I don't know if I'm in the mood for whatever is going to come out of this. So that's why I've decided to let it go. So as sad as it is, it just needs to find a better home for someone who would love it and enjoy it. Next one. Let me just show you the bottle. Xerjoff Dama Bianca. Yeah, I can't believe it, but I have 4 Xerjoff fragrances from Casa Marati line, which is, this one is from Casa Marati line as well. And out of the 4 that I have, this is the one that's getting the least amount of love. I am just not reaching for this one. I am absolutely loving the other 3. I'm using them a lot, all 3 of them, but this one, honestly, I am not. This is my least favorite and least reached for from Xerjoff. Doesn't mean it's not beautiful, doesn't mean I still don't love it. I do, but I'm just not reaching for it. And Dama Bianca is kind of an interesting scent. It has kumquat, vanilla, it has a lot of florals, especially a lot of purple florals. This is more of a skin scent for me. It's not very loud, although the lasting power is very nice. It kind of has that, I think kumquat is coming through very strongly, definitely has florals. It has a slight powdery element. It's beautiful, but I am just not reaching for it, and so it has to go. And we're down to the last one. And this is from a house that I, again, really, really love. In fact, one of my all-time favorite fragrances comes from this house, and I'm talking about Nobile 1942. This is Levante. This fragrance is really interesting one because it's kind of a sweet and salty combination together. So it has caramel, it has vanilla, it also has sea notes, it has some resins, benzoin. So it's just a really interesting combination of sweet and salty. So it's like you can really smell the caramel and vanilla, but at the same time, while you're smelling this, you're walking on a seashore. It's kind of, that's what it feels like. And although it is absolutely beautiful and I do love it, again, out of the 3 Nobile 1942 scents that I have, this is the least reach one. And as much as I love it and as much as I want to keep it, I just can't. I have to only keep fragrances that I am using, and I am just not using this one. I don't know why. I love the scent, I love the house, but I'm not reaching for it. So there you go. This one is looking for a new home. So that's it. These are the 13 fragrances that are leaving my collection, or some of them have left already. I really think this is the last declutter of this year. I don't think there will be any more. I'm pretty sure there will not be any more. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And please let me know if there are any fragrances that are leaving your collection before the end of the year. Again, thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.